Hey everyone, hope all is good. In the previous videos, we have discussed many things about the SQL, and in this video, we will take the journey of this SQL to the next level. There are two most important things we discussed before, that is about the installation of SQL Server and SSMS. These are the two different things. One is the server and second is the studio. What does it do? It provides the hosting to the databases. And what does it do? It's a tool through which we are connected to the SQL server. Remember these two things. SQL server is one thing and SSMS is another thing. That is the interface. So far, if you have not installed these two, before watching these videos, if you want to practice with me, then definitely you have to install these two things. And I will tell you today what we are going to discuss. We will visit SSMS. This will be our first thing. Then we will try to explore it. Briefly, we will try to explore it. What are the requirements right now about the SSMS? What we need to understand, we will do that. And second thing is we will create database, and inside this database we will create the tables, and inside the table we will insert records. During this whole procedure there is a proper syntax. Syntax means the lines of codes, or we can say the queries which we need to write. And here in this we are going to use many more things, like we are going to use the data types. What are data types that we will see after writing the codes? We are going to use the constraints. We are going to use the keywords. These all things we will understand once we will write the code, because I believe if in the starting I will give you the theoretical concept, like I will explain what are data types, what are constraints, what are keywords, what are these syntaxes. These things you can go through the online. You can just type the data types in SQL. You will see all those things, and also you can just type constraints, keywords, and many other things that you can see. The better experience is only when we will do the practical. So let me take you to the SSMS. Now, before that, we should be prepared. What is that? First part, that is installation of part, has to be done. Installation of SQL Server and installation of SSMS. Once these two installations have been done, then we can start the practicing, we can start writing the codes. Now in my laptop all is done. Now I will tell you where we have to search. Let's go to the toolbar. Here is the toolbar. I will click on the toolbar, then I will check here SQL. You can see here it is taking me SQL Server Management Studio, and in the similar way you will have here, you will get the same thing. Now what I will do in the next step, I will click on this studio. You can see here it is Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. It is going to start now. Just wait a moment. Now here, this type of interface you will see here. What is this total? This is SSMS. This is Studio, and it is connected with the server. Excuse me. The server type is database engine. We have analysis services, reporting services, integration services, and as you are SSIS integration runtime. We should not go because we are dealing with the databases. So that's why our server type will be the database engine. Then you can see on the next here, it is server name. The server name is my local computer address. Because I have downloaded the SQL, my server name will be my local computer's name is this one. So that's why you will have different types. You can have also the in digits. You can see here this one is there. It is the local because I have stored, or I can say I have installed the same. Now authentication, Windows authentication. Using the Windows, we can go for the Windows authentication. There is again SQL Server authentication. One more. If I will click on this, then I have to put login, login ID and password. But it depends upon the installation. When we have installed not in this manner. We have to use only the Windows authentication. Then next, I will tap on the connect. Now it is showing me here an update to SQL Server Management Studio is available, but I don't know need now. Now look here. This is the interface. On the left side, you can see the Object Explorer. In the Object Explorer, we will see all the operations, all the things what we are going to carry out throughout our practices, throughout our practices or any other thing. Generally, it's just giving us the idea how to where we have, if I have created the databases, if I have created the tables, indexes, stored procedures, all other things that will be visible in the Object Explorer. Now first thing is here, you can see here, it is my server name. My server name is this. It is being connected with the SQL server. I'm connected to the SQL server through this data, through this studio, through this SSMS. This is now, remember thing, this is SSMS and this one is the server. Now next I will tap on this plus icon. I will get the databases. In this databases, I have system databases, I have database snapshots. Now, I have also these type of databases. You can see the assign 2023, assign 777 assignment solutions, and all those things still here. User defined functions. These all databases from assign 2023 to use defined functions. These databases have been created by myself. Let's see. First thing, system databases. Just click on this plus icon. You will see we have here four databases: master, model, MSDB, and TempDB. These are the system databases. They are required for the proper functioning of the studio. They are system. We have not created. These are already present in the system. Now, just close this one. I will look here the database snapshots. These database snapshots are already also present in the system. These are just for the smooth running, the proper working of the SSMS. Now look at this database, assign 2023. Now here, how many tables I have in the same assign database. It is the database. In this databases, I will have the tables. Look at here. I have two tables here. One is the customer table and another is the orders table. Look here, system tables, file tables, external tables, graph tables. These all things you will understand by the time. But right now you have to see how many tables I have created. That is dbo.customer, dbo.orders. Now, if I will see next views, external resources, synonyms, programmability, query store, and service broker, and storage security. And in the similar way, in this database, I can check how many tables are there. In each and every database, I can check how many tables, how many views, how many other store procedures, how many functions are there. We can check while clicking on the database. Now, this was about the Object Explorer. Now we will see how to start. If we want to create the database, how we can create. As you can see on the screen, new query is there. Just I will click on the new query and let's see where it is going to take me. See here, it's going to take SQL query 1. It is saying this is query 1, but this server is this server. It's connected to the server. Now if I want to create the database, I want to create the database. Right now, if I am going to write any code, for example, I will write create table, create table. The table name is, let's take the table name as computer, computer. If I am going to run, I will write the full code for the table. This table will be created in the database master, because as you can see here, which database I am using now, it is the master. If I want to change the database, I have here different databases. Here Northwind is there, laptop is there, Resha practice is there, sandbox is there, SQL assignment is there. These are all databases that will be visible here, and I can use those visible those databases where I want to create. But I don't want to create the table in this particular database. I just want my own database. So how I will create the database? See here, I will write create database. Now the database name I am going to take. I will take the database name as computer. Computer. Once I have created, then I will run it. I will execute this code. We have to select the full code. Now see here what it is saying. Incorrect code. It is saying message level 15 state 1 line 1 incorrect syntax near the keyword compute, because I have not selected the full. I have to select it the full query. The R was not selected there. Now I will execute. Again it is showing me the error. Why? It is showing me the database computer already exists. That means my database is already the computer database that is already existing in my system. I cannot create the another database, so duplicates are not possible. Now what I am going to do, I will write drop, I will write drop database this computer. Let's see what will happen. Yes, commands are successfully. Now what I did in these two steps, first I created the database. Create is a keyword and I'm creating the database. The name of my database, it depends upon me. Create I can write in the capital letters, in small letters also. It's not case sensitive. SQL, remember one thing, SQL is not case sensitive. That means it will not affect whether we will write in the capital letters or we are writing in the small letters. So what I did in first, I created the database computer, but that was already existing. Then what I did, I dropped the database. I deleted the database. How we can delete the database? Simply drop database computer. I dropped. Now again I will show you. Let's create the database computer, because now it is not existed in my system. Now execute this code. You can see here. Commands completed successfully. That means we have created the database computer. Let's take another database. I want to create another database. The name of the database, I am going to take it, create database tablet. Now see here before, as you can see here in my database lists, no tablet is there. You can see here. Now once I have created, I have executed this code, you can see my tablet database will be visible somewhere. Just go for the refreshing. Once I will refresh, then I will go to the databases. You can see here, yes, here the tablet database is there. You can see here. If again I want to drop this database, simply what I should do, this is tablet here, and here I am going to write the drop database tablet. Let's see what will happen. Just run this code, execute commands completed successfully and this is the completion time. You can see, let's refresh the object explorer and see the databases here. You cannot see here the database tablet. In this way, we understood how to create the database and how to drop the database. These are the two things, the very basic things. Create a database and our database name. If we want to drop, if we want to delete the database from the system, then this code we have to write drop database tablet. And here create is the keyword, drop is the keyword. Now let's go again in the database computer. A computer database is already there. If I want to create the table in the computer database, what should I do? As now you can see here the master database is there. So what I am going to do here, I can change it manually. I mean graphically we can change it. We can write here the computer database. Here you can see computer database. Now I am using this time the computer database. If I want to use, I want to write, let's say this is master database. If I want to write the code, a query by which I can use my own database, that is the computer, I will write use is the keyword computer. You can see here it is showing me here it is the database computer. When I will execute, see here it is written the master. After the execution you will see here the computer will be there. It's fine. Now I have one file, I have written the codes. I will take only that file because it will take too much time while writing all the codes. Just a minute. Now you can see here, this is that query which we were using and this is the another query. Now see here, this time I'm using which database? The computer database. We understood, we have discussed how to create database, how to use, how to drop the database, and also when we have to use the database. If we want to create the tables, we have to use that particular database which we want. Here already the database computer is there, so whatever the queries I am going to do here, I'm going to execute here, that will be done only in this database. Now see here, I'm going to create the table sales. Create table. As you can see, I have written the two hyphens and create sales table. This is called the comment. When we put two hyphens, this implies it is a comment. It is a comment. Comment is just for our reference. We are not, it is not the part of the code. If I want to execute this whole, let's see what will happen. Let's go for the execution. Command successfully commands completed successfully. That means the table has been created. So after the database, I have created the table. But we know in a table, I should give the name of the columns. How many columns I have? What are the keywords for the table? Create table. Name of the table is sales. Then bracket sale ID, product ID, quantity sold, sale date, total price. These are my column names. Now I will check here the table first. I will write select asterisk from sales. Now I will run this code. I will execute here and you can see here I have how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That is sale ID, product ID, quantity sold, sale date and total price. Now the question comes here first thing. If we want to create the table, what is the syntax for that? First, create table, we should know this is the keyword, create table. Then the name of the table, it depends upon us which table we want to create. What should be the name of the table? I'm trying to discuss it within a very simple word so that each and everyone will understand what is going on and what's happening. So table name, then within the brackets I am writing the column names, how many columns I want: sale ID, product ID, quantity sold, sale date, and total price. Now along with that sale ID, I have to specify the data type. Int stands for int. I will discuss on it, you don't worry about that. Then with the int I have the primary key, and I will also discuss on the primary key. And product ID is int. This is the data type of it, not null. It is the constant. Here primary key is one constant and not null is one constant. Here sale date, its data type should be date, and its data type I have taken as decimal. I can also take the character or any other things. We will have discussion on all these things. Now see here. Next thing is, listen to me carefully. Insert data into sales table. Now I want to insert the records, few records inside this table. How do I do that? The keyword is insert into the name of the table, that is sales table computer.dbo.sales. That means database is computer and the table is sales. As you can see, it is showing here. Then within the brackets I have to write all the columns in a sequential order. Sale ID is first, product ID is first. Here you can see this all I have to write in this order, in the same order. Then within the brackets I have to write the values. Again I have to start with the brackets. Then for sale ID, for product ID, see I have written here the product ID, sale ID is integer. That means my first entry should be only the integer, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 0 -1 -2. This is the integer type. And also the product ID, you can see that is also the integer, and it is not null. That means no value should be empty, not null. Every value I have to put here: 101, 102, 103, 105, 104, till here I have written. Now quantity sold is also the integer. That means the third entry should also be the integer. Now the fourth is sale date. That is date should be, date is in the form. First we are writing here the year, then month, then date. It is the format, date format. Then the decimal, you can see total price decimal, and in the brackets we have 10 and 2. 10 means number of digits before decimal, and 2 means number of digits after decimal. Here number of digits before decimals we can have up to 10, and number of digits after 2 we can have 2. We can have 2 digits, I mean 0 0, there are 2 digits. Also we can change it, we can also keep it as it depends upon us. Now let's run this query. Let's execute. 5 rows affected. That means I have entered the 5 records in the table. Now let me check the table. Let me check the records. Look here. Select everything asterisk from sales. Let's execute this. You will see here the sales ID, the product ID, the quantity sold, the sale date, and the total price. I have entered the 5 records, and now my table is ready. I will refresh here and I will check here in the database computer in Object Explorer. Let's see, let's click on the database and check where is the computer database here. And let me check the tables, how many tables I have here. You can see dob.sales is one table is there. And if I want to see in the inside the tables how many columns are there, you can see here sales ID, product ID, quantity sold, and all the 5 columns are there. I will check the keys here. Primary key is here on the sales, on this on which it is on sales ID. Yes, on sales ID. And I will check for the constraints. You will see here primary key, and there are the triggers. We have not created triggers so far. We have not created indexes so far. And also the primary key is the index that we will discuss the later, and statistics primary key, and these things we will understand the later. Now now again come to the point here. So we understood how to create the table and how to insert the records in the table. You can see here again. Now here you can see the semicolon. This semicolon is not necessary. We can put here the semicolon. See here, if I will put the semicolon here, it's also going to run. It is not going to affect the thing. If I will not put the semicolon, you can also run this. And you will understand once you will copy the code, you will write the things, then only it is possible to understand the things. If just seeing, just trying, seeing, it is not going to work. It will not make you to understand everything. Only seeing the things, you have to type the code, you have to write the code, write the query, then only you will be able to understand. Now here one more thing we will understand, then I will come to the point, this data types and primary key. We have to understand drop table. It's like that, drop database. Likewise we have to drop table sales. Let me check here, drop table, drop table sales. Let me execute, and you can see commands completed successfully. Now let's see whether the table is there or not. Check everything from the sales table. Execute. You can see invalid object name. Sales is not there. Sales is not there. Let's go and create again the table. Let's execute. Yes, commands completed successfully. Table has been created now. And insert the records in the table. I have inserted the records. Now select from the table sales, select from sales table everything you can see here. Again I have created. Now let's create another table that's called the product. Create another table that's called the product. Execute. Commands completed successfully. Now insert the records inside the table in the similar way how we inserted in the table sales. Execute. Commands complete successfully. Now select asterisk from the product. Now you can see here, that means select everything from the table. If at once I want to write both the tables, I will select here. You can see here, here we have the sales. Now both the queries, both the codes I will run here. You can see here both the tables are there. This is sales table and this is product table. Here product table is above and products table and sales table is down. We can see here how many rows are here. Total rows you can see here 10 rows are there. Now let me take you to this part. The data type, we will try to understand what is this int, what is the need of the data type, and what are the other things we will see here. Let's go here again. See here I have written here data types can vary between different databases, but they generally fall into three main categories, that is string, numeric, date and time. So there are three types of data type, like string. You can see here, just a minute, just a moment. String data type, numeric data type, and date and time data type. What data type do? It tells us what kind of data a column should hold. The main thing of data type is what it tells us what type of data a column can hold. Like I showed you just a minute here. If product ID is of the integer, it means every entity, everything, whatever is here in the product ID, everything should be in the integer. We cannot enter the other data type. Like if another thing is like decimal, we cannot keep here the decimal, we cannot keep here the date. And in the similar manner, here this product type is, you can see here in the product, yes, I will show you the in the see here, product name is varchar. You can see here the varchar. Varchar means the characters, it is the string type. String means whenever we will write any name, when we are writing any name, that is of the string type, and string has to be within brackets. You can see here, whenever the word is written within the brackets, you can see here within those apostrophes, it is the string data type. And also the category is what, varchar 50, that is the string data type. It is string data type. So in product name, we cannot put the data which is of the another data type, that will make the violation, that will not work. So we have to understand, in one column only one thing should be there, one data type. If it is integer, if it is decimal, whatever whatsoever it is, it should be of the same. It will not allow us to make different, to write the different things which have different data types. It is never going to accept that thing. Again, unit price, you can see here, it is the decimal, and 10 before the decimal, 10 digits are allowed, and after decimal 2 digits are allowed. Let me take you to the board here. So we have string data types. String data types are simply what, the text or the text or the character data type. Whenever we have the name of anything, whenever we are writing in alphabets, that is the string data type. Some common string data types include, first is the char. Sometimes we will use the char, char, like this, char, char. Then within the brackets we will put values. The size of this character length depends from 0 to 225. So its size should be 0 to 255. That means the length of the string, the length of the characters should be 0 to 255. For example, I'm writing here generally, generally, generally. You can see how many are there, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So its character length is 9. But if I am putting the char, and in the char I am writing 30, that means the character length should not go beyond the 30. And second thing is, in the string data type, this was about the char. Now third one, second is the varchar. In the varchar, a variable length string that can contain letters, numbers, and special characters. You should remember one thing here. In char, it is a mixture of all the things. Like in string data type, in string data type, in string data type, we will have we can have letters, numbers, and we can have special characters. Special characters. For example, I am writing the email abc at the rate gmail, abc, let me write again, abc123 at the rate gmail.com. which type of which type of data type is this? This is the string type of data type. You can see, because we have here the letters, we have here the numbers, we have the special characters, we have the letters, we have special character, we have the letters here. If I am going to write 1 2 3 4 5 or 100 or 200 or 300 or 400 or 700, these are the integer types. These are integer type data. Now I will take you again here. Give me a moment to see here. When the table products was created, you can see product ID was int. That means it is data type is integer. Every entry in the product column should be integer. Product varchar 100. That means varchar means what? The numbers, the letters, and the special characters it can hold. we can put all those things. We have to specify. It is the rule, it is the syntax, we cannot ignore it. Here again the varchar is there, again the decimal is there, and apart from this you can also check the data types, why data types are important in creating the table in SQL. You can check this question on the Google, in ChatGPT, you will get all the answers. Now let's again go here. Now here in varchar, what is the difference between char and varchar? Char and varchar is, they are both same, only the difference is size parameters. Here it can hold 0 to 255 and it can hold 0 to 65535 numbers, the characters. Let's come to the next two. This was about the string data type. Now after the string data types, we have the numeric data types. You can see in the numeric data types, they store the numbers, they can be further categorized into exact numeric types and approximate numeric types. Now see here, first thing is int. We have used the int. Int is what? Numeric data type. It stores the numbers. It stores the numbers as I showed you in the example. It's why, because I told you first we will go to the practical, then only we can understand the things. It's a medium integer with a signed range from minus this value to plus this value, and an unassigned range from 0 to, if we are not assigning the range, then it is generally taking the values from 0 to this value. So I told you. Then again another comes the big int. What is big int? It is a larger. It is the same. What is the difference? It can hold this range. And what is decimal? I told you P and S. There are two things: a fixed and exact fixed point number, where P is the precision, that means total number of digits, and S is the scale number of digits after the decimal points. So P is what? It is the total number of digits a decimal can have, and S is what? If we are writing decimal 10 3, it means the total length of the string, sorry, the total length of the data or entry will be 10. It's the total length. And here after the decimal there will be 3 digits. It can be any 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 2 3 4, like that. Now another comes the float. When we write the float, and a number which is not an integer is a float. For example, this is also a float, 3.123. It is a float. 3.0, it is a float. Whenever you have the number which contains the decimal part, but here the range is not described at all. It is the float. Now next comes, that is date and time data types. Date and time data are used to store date and time values, some common. See, the date format is, first is the year, and then it is the month, then it is the day. For example, if it is 1st Jan, if it is 1st Jan 2024, how can we write it? We have to write first the year 2024 to month is 1, and then we have to write the day. Day is 1. And here, to be clear, here in the decimal part, in the decimal PS, when we have, again I am going to take this decimal, understand here, decimal, if I am writing 10 and 2, what is our in our example, what we have done in the practice session? Total length of characters, maybe I was wrong there. Total length of characters should be 10. Total numbers should be 10 apart from the decimal. And after decimal, how many parts, how many numbers can have? 2. Here this part represents 2 digits. Total is 10, and here after the decimal there are 2 only. Now here in float we don't have any range. We can take any value, any length, any length of characters in data after the decimal, it is not some specific value. Let me take you again to this query, what we have done. I think little bit you have understood about this. First thing is create table and drop table. Create table name. Then we have written the column names and we have identified for each column which type of data it can hold. We have to identify it. That is int, date and decimal. These are the data types. And in the second one, that was the products table. We have created the products table, and in the products table we have written int, varchar and decimals. Fine so far. And also we have inserted the records. I think this much is clear about up to this. Now what is pending here, that's primary key not null, that we will discuss in the another part of the video. Thanks for watching.